Okay, so this is the IFI Coolbox, which will keep 2 tubs of gelato cool for, depending on the conditions, like if it was totally sealed up, maybe even 8 hours, but if you're serving it, maybe 3 or 4. And if you recycle the cooling units, like with multiple sets, you can keep it for longer. So let me show you how you open and close it and its various parts and stuff. This is a Posetti. This is a 7-liter stainless steel gelato serving tub. It is anti-rotational. It's got these nubs on the side. That's kind of important. That keeps it from spinning when you scoop, which can be very annoying. They go inside here. So it works. So the Coolbox has 2 main latches here. Like, if you're going to actually carry it, it's kind of heavy, but you certainly can carry it. You have to make sure that these latches are secured. Like, they're open, closed, self-explanatory, and then you can carry it. Do not try to lift it when the latches are open, or you can spill it out or break it, or whatever. So this top here is like main kind of insulating top. But when you do have it open and you're serving, you can, it's got these spaces on the other side that you can use for these lids, which also insulate heavily. We'll get to that in a second. So it's empty right now. You can see in here, it's just cylindrical spaces. And you take the cooling units, these are not frozen, but yours would be. These are cooling units. And you put 2 per pair, and it's kind of obvious how they fit, like a kind of half moon. And you can see in there that there's like a slot for the extended part. They fit like that. They should fit very neatly, like in there. These provide the right gelato temperature, which is approximately 8 degrees Fahrenheit, until they thaw, basically. If they're recently been frozen, they work, and then they will last until they thaw, and then your gelato will start to melt, in which case you've got to move the gelato to a freezer or replace the cooling units with new fresh ones. So once you put the cooling units in, you put the Posetti in, and their tabs match with the side-to-side notches on the cooling things, like this. Once they're in, they will not rotate. That's very important. They won't go in the wrong way. If you try to put them the wrong way, they'll kind of get stuck a bit. You want them in properly on the sides. And it's a little trickier when those are heavy and full of gelato. You have to lower them in carefully and not touch the gelato, which is unsanitary. So once they're in, you put these sealing rubber gaskets on top. And then these lids. Now, if you have it open like this, it will keep okay, and it is cooling from the cooling units, but it's not fully insulated. These are pretty well insulated, and they've got the gaskets. But for maximum temperature retention, you want this. You don't have to latch it if you're just sitting there, standing there next to the gelato or something. But you want to keep it closed as much as possible in order to keep the cool in. But if you are serving, you can take them one at a time or both or whatever, open them up, scoop and stuff. And they will keep pretty well in here, and the cold will stay down in there, emanating, radiating into the gelato. And when you need to switch out a set of cool units, you got to take off the lid, you got to take this thing, you got to take the gelato out, and you got to take these out and replace them with new colder ones, or put the gelato back in the freezer. Gelato being a highly perishable frozen product, you do not leave out for more than 30 seconds. You try to keep it out of the sun. It will start to at least soften on its surface very quickly, and then that will refreeze and create poor texture and poor customer experience. A note on cleaning these various parts. Obviously, you might wipe, like when it's closed and whatever, you might wipe stray gelato bits off like this. But after you've taken the gelato and put it back in a freezer, or it's done or whatever, this is basically the only element that is suitable for the high temperature commercial dishwasher. You can certainly put this in the dishwasher. It's indestructible, the stainless. Although expensive, like all IFI parts. These need to be washed and wiped down by hand with a little bit of sanitizer. Like, they do not go in the high temperature dishwasher. These do not go in the high temperature dishwasher. The cooling packs do not go in the high temperature dishwasher. They just get wiped down gently, maybe a tiny bit of sanitizer too. Then this whole machine obviously wouldn't even fit in the dishwasher, but you just wipe it down, maybe a little bit of sanitizer. And that's basically cleaning the main parts of the unit. This silver thing is the Coolbox cart for serving. I'll show a little bit about this thing and how the Coolbox fits on it and so on. So the cart itself can fold into more compact form like this, and then you straighten it out. And then to set it up stably, you take this bottom shelf bit that is in the there, and that will keep it kind of in its sort of proper structure. There are two of the four wheels have little locks on them, I think. You have this one, you step down, which will keep it from moving like too much if you're so inclined. Frame. And here's the Coolbox itself. Now, before you pick it up, you got to make sure it's latched, and when loaded with gelato, it's pretty heavy, maybe 70 pounds. And you just lower it carefully in here. The Coolbox should always be kept upright. It's never intended to be laid on its side, bumped around or anything. It's expensive. Okay, so now, nicely with the cart. You roll around easily. There's also optional one or two of these rack things, which they're kind of, these things hook onto the side handles, and if you want you can do that. You don't have to, or you can stick them below or leave them inside or whatever, and when they're hooked you can stick cups or napkins or whatever there, or you can have some other solution, stick some stuff down in the rack below, not a ton of weight, but whatever. So when it's up on the cart, now you can unlatch it, flip it up, move the, open these, serve, make sure to put these back on when not actively scooping, and keep the gelato cool, and if no one's going for it, you just close this up. You don't have to latch it if you're not going anywhere. And that's basically it. Take it apart, lift this thing straight up, and put it down somewhere. Take these guys off. Take the middle part out, and you can twist it into its compact form and that's something. You go like this, or you can leave the whole thing together as you like.